What's up, guys? It's Apollo here. Hope you guys are doing well, and we've got another gruesome battle in Napoleon Total War. Today we've got a 1 vs 1 on the pyramids. We've got UK versus Russia, so it's gonna be quite the match. Now, before we get started with this battle, I want to give a big shout out to the person who sent this in. His name is Jesse from Oasis Hosting. Now, if you watch any of my Call to Arm events, you probably know who Oasis Hosting is. It's a server provider, and these guys are awesome. I really appreciate this sponsorship because ever since the beginning, I felt like they genuinely cared about my channel. I talk to them all the time. He's always giving me like, oh, it's great to see your videos doing better and stuff. Like, they've been a really nice company, and I'm actually the only YouTuber they sponsor. I'm pretty sure. I think the other organizations they sponsor are like esports organizations. So it's a really humbling thing that they sent me in a battle replay. I think that's so cool because most of the time sponsorships, you know, you'll get an email and it'll be like, hey, we're so-and-so and we absolutely love your channel. It's like, no, you don't. You just saw how many views I got and you want to work with me, which is fine, but it's great to have a sponsorship where it's also a friendship. You know, it's just really humbling. It's really great that a company actually wants to see my channel succeed and support me, and you know, vice versa, I support them. So again, guys, Oasis Hosting, there's a link to their website down below. If you're ever looking for a server for Mountain Blade, for really any of those big multiplayer games, they've got a ton, and you can use a discount code which you can get your any purchase on their website for a discount, and you support Call to Arms. So definitely check that out. Again, Oasis, I am so happy with our relationship, our sponsorship stuff. It's awesome. So thank you for the support, and it's just really great to have a genuine company, you know, really support YouTubers out there. It's awesome. So anyways, let's get started here with the battle because it looks like this is gonna be a spicy one. So let's start with the army comp of the UK. You can see he's actually got two forces, a little divided here. One force, he's got some footmen leading the way. He's also got some King German Legion light foot, which are pushing forward. He also has a mix of fencibles, so some cheaper troops, and then back here more foot in the mix. He's got a 5-inch howitzer. He's got some foot guards kind of protecting that howitzer, and then he's got some lifeguards and light dragoons for cav, and another rifle unit in the back with his general pushing forward. Now over here we have some light foot mixed in with the King German Legion foot. We also have some foot guards in the rear ready to fight to the last. So let's move to the Russians over here, who are bringing, look at this, Cossack cav, 2 units of Cossack cav, and he's got a 6-pounder horse artillery. So he's moving with that very mobile artillery, trying to get them in a good position to fire at the flank of the British troops. Now the rest of his forces, he's got 3 units of Russian Jaegers. We've got Count von Bengtzen. I'm probably slaughtered that one. And then we got some musketeers in the back for his main line. We got more calves, so a very quick moving army he's got here. And he is pushing very aggressively for this town. This is a very strategic town people go for. He's got Moscow musketeers, lifeguard foot. Well, these are some really elite units. Wow, look at that. Really good units fighting for the city, and they're supported with some lifeguard horse. So lots of horse, lots of really elite units for the Russians. So the horse artillery is set up on the slope here. The British are going to be a little bit late getting to this town, though he has the rifles. That's one thing that the Russians don't have in this little force here, is the fact that he doesn't have any lights. So UK can really approach this carefully, sit back and fire from a distance at these riflemen of Russia, the line troops of Russia. We'll see how that progresses, but it looks like UK is kind of holding up here. Maybe they're going to set up their artillery. He's also watching that flank. This is going to be a major problem here. I don't know how the UK is going to counter this. I think the UK probably has to get aggressive on one flank, you know, as the Russians are getting the Russians are playing very aggressive, and I really appreciate it. I love the aggressive play here, but he's got to be careful. You don't want to get too aggressive here, and you know, sometimes, like me, I'm a very aggressive player too, and if you push too hard, sometimes you just send your men to the slaughter without really taking the advantage of the rush. But yeah, he's got his Russian Jaegers setting up here, ready to fire at the British rifles. Now, the rifles over here are, this is actually light foot. They are outnumbered. So they've got to be careful, and they might want to push forward and get in range of these rifles. There we go, light foot opening fire, and that's the first volley of the battle. Now we have some foot guard pushing forward, and they're going to try to they're going to close in the gap and start firing at these rifles, which is exactly what you need to do. The artillery now firing at the Russian position over there. And yeah, this is actually, you know, I actually like this move. I like the fact, let me turn on the mini-map too. I like the fact that the UK is actually taking it slow here, because now they can focus on this front. And he's forming up a line. He's got, well, the Russians are still back directly behind him in enemy territory. Let's see if the British forces go for a charge here quickly to try to, you know, charge down that artillery before they get a couple volleys off, because direct angles like this to Cav forces can be devastating if they land a hit. What? Okay, the balance of power is glitching out. This is not almost done. But the British forces have lost a lot of men to these rifles. It's great to see that they're finally in firing range and really softening up these Russian Jaegers. Now Russia's going to push forward and get their line infantry up there to support those Jaegers as well. Pretty glorious battlefield right here. Pretty epic. Oh no, they're going for a charge. The classic Russian charge, guys. Fantastic. Let's see, it's going to be, well, it's going to be an uphill battle, quite literally. It's going to be tough, but very, very smart move here by the UK. They're actually going to fall back, make the Russians work for it. Why fight them? Why? When you can just fall back, make them tired, and then fire at them. We got some Cav pushing forward. Let's do some slow motion here, because there's a lot going on. Cav charging at the British forces. Then we have the Cav here, which looks like they did get hit by the artillery. See, they probably took a little too much time there. They lost a lot of good men, but they're going to charge in. And unfortunately, the Cav is going to be defeated by the Russian Cav. And it's going to be, well, it's going to be a pretty quick rout for the British, and this is going to be a big problem for the British later on in this battle. Now they're also charging the other front as well. Let's see how this progresses. He forms square right at the last minute. Let's do some normal speed. Form square right at the last second there. And they, come on, let's get a volley. Let's pick off that Russian Cav. Oh, and here comes the Russian infantry. They're not stopping now. They're going to form like fire. Hold your position. Here they come. So he's charging in. He's going to brace for impact. Very nice, very nice. More square formations holding off these troops. He's actually going to break square, form line, and support the British. And the British are taking on multiple Russian units. This is not good from Russia. He's clumping up here a little too much, and this is going to make an easy target for this line infantry. Watch this. Here we go. It's so awesome. Whoa, Cav charging in too. He charges his own men because he's trying to get to this unit, and they form square and quickly defend themselves. This is a great play by the UK, and the Russia getting a little sloppy here with his troops. Let's see if they can defeat this Cav. Now the Cav's going to move over to the light troops. Light troops are going to retreat to the safety of these line forces. Maybe they're going to form square. But this Cav's not going to last much longer. They have taken many casualties here on the battlefield. Awesome. More Cav in the back lines, though. More Cav in the back lines. Once again, they form square with their foot. The Cav is not going to have a choice here. The Cossack Cav is decent, but they're not like elite Cav. And now they're going to go for the artillery, which is smart. They're more of a lighter Cav. They can't really take on too many volleys, and they're going to silence that artillery, which is really unfortunate for the British. All right, let's do some slow motion because there's a lot going on. This is a very tactical battle. This is amazing. So some lights up here. Still opening fire. Still decent numbers considering the late stages of the game. They defeated the Russian charge. Now, these guys aren't shattered. They're only routing, so they could return to the battlefield, which is good for Russia. UK hanging on for dear life. They're also engaging this flank. And again, they have the luxury of using their lights and taking their time over here, especially considering that they're holding on against this Russian flank, which honestly 5 minutes ago looked like it was going to be disaster, and it turned around into a pretty good success. But they still have to deal with this Russian artillery up on this hill. There's still a fresh unit of Cossack Cav. It's going to be a big issue. So what is this? Russian Cossack Cav, they are routing from the battlefield. They tried to take out the artillery. It looks like most of the artillery is still intact. And now we have some units of foot guard and some rifles headed over to the other side of the battle. They're going to help this front. And now the British are pushing in. They're pushing forward, and they're ready to take out this Russian position. Because if they can take this out, then they can quickly turn around and face and support the battle for that town over there, which is also getting pretty heated. King German Legion. I love the German troops here as they fight to try to take back their lands from Napoleon. Why are they fighting Russia? I don't know. But that's the beauty of Total War. It doesn't have to make sense. Though it wasn't exactly like UK and Russia were great buddies. Let's make that clear. It wasn't like they were friends or at all. So Russia swinging around the musketeers once again. So this was one of the units that broke from that initial melee charge. So they're going to come around when the battle needs them most. They're going to cause the British to kind of form this weird formation to hold the multiple fronts. Also, they're dealing with this artillery. This artillery could break through this. It's a very awkward formation and great for the Russian artillery because the cannonballs can rip through this line and hit this line as well. So they've got to watch out for that. I like how the British are kind of using this slope, though, which kind of protects them from that rifle fire. But let's see how they deal with the Russian musketeers. Or some of them are now retreating. So he's trying to reform his lines. I think that's a mistake. I think he should keep pushing on this flank. I don't know why he's kind of fallen back there. But yeah, he's fallen back everyone. And now lights are moving forward. He's moving over some King German Legion foot and some lights to deal with this flank near the town. Moscow Musketeers holding the line. But how much longer will they hold? I mean, Russia, considering their army comp in this force, I think they've got to get aggressive and try to melee. I mean, they've got Lifeguard foot over here and Moscow Musketeers. They're really good units. But they're doing a decent job of holding. And now we got some Russian Cav going in for the kill. Lifeguard horse going for the rifles. He's got his line, though, right by him. They're going to form square and protect him. They're going to go right by. Let's see. Oh, they're going to move. They're going to go for the rifles. Watch. They're going to turn right here. Turn. Yep. The charge is not great. They should defeat these rifles here, at least cause them to break. And now here comes, yes, here comes the Russian melee charge. The infamous Russian melee charge. They break the British rifles. And here comes another Cav charge. We got Lifeguard horse going in into a square formation. I mean, I get his infantry's, you know, keeping them fighting in melee, but it's dangerous to charge in a square formation with your Cav and see if it's enough here to break the British. Okay, there's so much going on. Okay, let's slow it down here. Once again. Oh, no, they're breaking a huge flank from the British. This is a back and forth battle, guys. This is fantastic. The Russians are holding on here. They're taking their time. Same thing with the British. I think they're mostly focused on the other part of the battle. We also have another Lifeguard horse chasing down light foot. So the British are having a tough time protecting all of their light troops, and they're getting trampled by that Russian Cav. But that Cav is now free to move around. The British are now pushing forward hard on this flank. This might be a good idea because if he can clean this up, he can quickly turn his troops and help out the other parts of the battlefield. And I think the Russians know that, and that's why they're falling back over here. This is so tactical. This is a great battle, guys. I'm loving this. Some pro plays here. I really am. So yeah, great move. The Russian player is really excellent. He's doing a good job here. Some small mistakes here and there, but overall, really, really good player. I don't want to say decent player, a good player. The British are now in square formation, getting hit from afar. Troops back there, also surrounded in melee, but look at that. They're putting up a good fight. And now the other Russian unit's going to charge in. Let's see, they might get super close. Oh, wait, there's another British line over here. So let's see how they interact. It looks like the Russians are going to take on that British line. Oh, the Russians break. Moscow Musketeers could not take on a normal foot unit, and now they're going to charge into melee. They got to try to get rid of these British forces. Russia's still on the retreat over there. Tell me something new, right? Retreating. All right, and then we've got the foot. Still holding the line. It's kind of going slow here again because the players are so focused over on this front. But we got some lifeguard horse, and they are healthy. They still have about 40 men, 39 men to be exact. And they're going to charge in and cause some havoc here. And the Russians are not going to stop there. The lifeguard foot going in for another charge. They took out the foot. Now they're going to take on another foot unit. And we also have the general charging in as well. The general protecting his men, taking on a lifeguard foot. Very gutsy move there. Rifles trying to quickly set up. If they can maybe get one volley off and weaken this lifeguard horse. Let's see how they... Yep, here they go. Here they go. Come on, quickly. Quickly before they kill you. There we go. They're popping some shots. And the British are still holding here. But for how long will they hold against the mighty Russian bayonets? Now we've got another British force coming around this way. So they've got reserves. They've got layers like an ogre. They're going to do the best they can against this Russian force. And he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to fire at his own backs. And they break the calf. The rifles stand their ground. Break the calf. The Russians, oh, no, he's going to fall back. That's actually a good move because he was losing that battle. And he's got the support of the line infantry right behind them. And they're going to be able to pop some shots once they're out of the view, out of the sight of this foot. And look at this. That's the smartest move there because you're taking out the Russians from afar. Their strength is up close, so take them out afar, and they should defeat this force. They're so depleted. Now the Cav forces return. No, this is actually Cossack Cav going for the lights. Gonna try to take them out, but hopefully this foot unit nearby can protect them. Let's do some slow motion. This is insane, guys. So the battle over here is underway as well. The Russians, oh no, they're blobbing up, but look at this. Oh my god, the Russian artillery is still active over here using canister shot. By the way, this artillery has three chevrons. It's doing damage, guys. It's been a real thorn in the side of the British army. And they're now using canister shot, now charging in some lifeguard horse. This is going to be, I don't know, this is going to be tough for the British. It just seems like they're outpositioned here. Let's see how this progresses. The Russians charging in. Musketeers charging, taking on the King German Legion foot as they hold by this wagon, supply wagon. Hold. And the British are going in for a charge here and get the rifles off guard. Surprise charge. Look, and they're going to rip through those rifles. Very excellent aggressive play by the foot guard. Now they need to quickly move. Get these Russian Jaegers off the battlefield, and that's going to be a huge advantage. And look at that. My God. My God. The King German Legion hold their ground. The artillery's got to be pissed. And now they're opening fire on these British troops. And the British are just going to run away from the artillery. That's actually pretty smart. Don't fight it. You don't have to, because it's going to be a losing fight. The Russians are now retreating. The British have taken control of the town. And it looks like the British are not done yet. The Russians are having to retreat, and they might. I think this is a good move by the Russians. They're actually going to fall back, possibly to their artillery, because they've got the high ground over here. They can use that. The high ground, especially in Napoleon, is very, very useful. Is the artillery... Yes, the artillery over here is still active. They can't move it, though, because the horses are dead. So they're kind of stuck where they are. It's probably still opening fire, trying to shoot, fire down these Russian troops. But the Russians got to hurry up. They've got to hurry up because they're in between a sandwich. And the British sandwich, the Earl of Sandwich, is on his way. These forces are going to be able to clash here and get from all kinds of different angles. Got the Russian general. He's losing hope. He's like, I don't know what to do here. They're quickly setting up here. They got to get this artillery going. And they are. They're moving it forward. They're trying to quickly send over the support. And I think they're going to limber and probably use canister shot. They're just getting it closer so they can confirm more kills. They can get more kills. More accurate. They also need to get the lifeguard horse over here. It's not over yet for the Russians. I want to make that clear. It is far from over because of that artillery and because of the cabin. Look at that. One volley that caused a lot of morale issues for the King German Legion foot. And now they're moving position. This is great. Russians are putting up one hell of a fight here. They're not giving up. This is one hell of a battle, guys. This is really excellent. But they form this like diamond or triangle formation. Not diamond. To hold against the British. And they're actually going for a charge here. The lifeguard foot. Oh no. It's quite the distance to close. And I don't know. Oh, they break. The Russians break. The rifles are too much. The British have them outpositioned, outnumbered. And this Russian force may see the end here. Look at the cap charge going in. Let's see if you can get them by surprise. Russians are not done yet. Let's see. Yes! He should break this unit. An excellent charge by the lifeguard horse. What's this? We've got another musketeer unit. What are they doing back there? They're desperately needed in the front line. And now the artillery firing down at the British. The general, Russian general, going in for the rifles. Is he going to commit? Let's see. Don't hesitate. Charge. Charge, brave Russians. There we go. Good charge, but I don't know. They're heavily outnumbered by these rifles. Okay, they're going to charge in here. Ooh, nice artillery hit. Okay, this is still not over, guys. Holy crap. And the Russian general might just kill these rifles. Wow. And don't forget, they've got the line troops over here, which are quickly reforming. This is a healthy unit. 81 men relative to the battle. It's the end of the battle. Still have 81 men in that unit. Oh, and the rifles break against the Russian general. But the general's stuck here. He's got to keep, well, I think he should try to retreat. Just get out of there. Because we've got nearby support of line troops in the palm trees here. The foot guard. Oh, go, 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 general. I want the Russians to kind of come back here for, oh no. Oh, the general has been killed. The general has been taken out. That's going to destroy the morale. Look at these foot who are holding so well against these lifeguard. There we go. They break him. He needs to quickly get this unit to this hill. And the artillery is going to be the biggest issue for the British. But here's the thing, guys. They've got lights. And the lights can... Because the biggest issue of taking on artillery and you only have infantry is canister shot. But the... Oh, wait. We've got the general. Let's not forget he still has a cav force. It's a general, but it's better than nothing. And then we got two guys just chilling over here watching the battlefield. But here comes the general's staff. Now, let's see. This might be the nail in the coffin. They're going to get off one more shot there from the artillery. And it's just undefended. Oh! Oh, God! They killed one of the general's bodyguard. But that should be enough to break that artillery piece. Oh, the general might die here. Oh, he's breaking. Okay, the morale is at orange. Come on, Russians. Oh, they're fleeing. The artillery crew is still intact. But the British infantry, and they have a lot of infantry, guys. The Russians are greatly outnumbered. It's all down to 2 units for the Russians. I think it's quite clear, no matter how effective they are here, the British are going to take this battle here in the infamous pyramids. Or they're not infamous, but the famous pyramids. Let's see if they can get another volley here. They probably need to switch to canister shot. They got to do it quickly. Oh, they break. They break. They're like, nah, screw this. There's too many of them. And now it's down to these brave musketeers. Just lay down your arms. I think he's going to go for a charge. One last charge for glory. And there we go. That's it, guys. That's going to be the battle. What a fantastic battle. This battle was all over the place. Great tactics from both players. Really good plays. Just really awesome plays. And just a treat to watch. I really enjoyed it. Are they still in it? Oh, they got one more unit over here, but it's not going to, they're not going to do much. So, yeah, I think the biggest issue with the Russians is like, it just seems like they had so much going on. It was hard to manage everything. The British seem to be more fighting as a unit. As Napoleon says, march divided, fight united. And yeah, I just feel like the British kind of had its forces more united. And the Russians did really, really good early on. but they kind of died out towards the end of the battle, and the British were able to take advantage of the fact that the Russians were so divided and so spread out. And these guys are coming back as well. Oh, it's just the general dismounted? No, it's the horse artillery. There we go. They're dead. Okay. So thank you, Jesse, for the battle replay. Though he won here, it was a costly victory. He killed about 1,500. He outnumbered the Russians quite a bit, so he had more of a quantity rather than quality. He lost about half his army, and the Russians lost, you know, a good amount, almost entire, like 70% or 80% of his army. So that was a great battle. Really enjoyed that one. It's great to go back to Napoleon, do some battles in this. I probably will do some more in the future, because if I can get more battles like this one, oh man, it was just perfect. But here is the kills. Foot guard to getting the most, just 5 kills shy of 300. Then we got the King German Legion foot. All his infantry did excellent here. Who did the worst? His fencibles, no surprise there. Fencibles are usually a meat shield. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the battlefield once again. My name is Apollo, and I'll see you next time, well, on the battlefield.